Hello, I am Felicia Hayes, co-owner of Hysnex LLC, and today's webinar is finding a business ideal where you select a business ideal that fits your needs and lifestyle. This webinar is designed for those who are interested in entering the world of entrepreneurship and starting their own business, and they're looking for ways to decide on a business that works for them. So what we're going to cover today is how to find a good fit for you, developing a business ideal once you find one, how to evaluate a business ideal, and then bringing your ideal to life. So before you start daydreaming about the awesome lifestyle that you want to have once you've got your business off the ground, you should find a business ideal that will fit your likes, talents, and your ideal lifestyle. So what we're going to do is take a short survey on each one of these three areas so you have a starting point. So the first survey we're going to do is the like survey. Now you're welcome to either grab a pencil and a sheet of paper to answer the questions for these three surveys, or you can actually go to our website, which is www.hysnex.com, and you can print off the job aid. It is the likes, talents, and ideal lifestyle worksheet. And that way you can jot down your ideals in an organized way. So let's answer the following questions on the first survey. What are your hobbies and interests? What do you like to do? The next question is, what activities make you happy, relaxed, excited? I know a lot of people have taken up the coloring. The adult coloring book is pretty popular with people nowadays. So just think about things that when you get off work, what do you like to do to unwind? What unwinds you? Number 3, how do you spend your downtime? Basically, what do you do in your spare time? I know most people are saying, well, hey, I really don't have much, but you're not working 24 hours a day. You're not working around the clock. So out of those 24 hours, 7 days a week, there's something you do to wind down. Number 4, if you could perform a certain job for the rest of your life, what would it be? So our next survey is going to be over talent and answer the following questions. What are some of the things you're really good at? Think about some of the things that people have told you, hey, you have a real talent for this, or you're a natural, or things that just come to you. I mean, they just aren't difficult for you to do. These are some things that you're really good at. Number 2, what transferable skills have you developed over time and would like to use? Now, as we go through our life and we work at different jobs in different positions, we develop these transferable skills. Now, some of them we develop that we really that I mean they just we enjoy doing them, and the others we develop not so much. We just do it on that one job and we prefer not to do it anywhere else. So here are some ideals. I mean, you can look at repairing computers, typing. Some of us are fantastic typers. I know me, I love to type. Singing or writing songs for others. These are just a couple of the ideals that you can start from. Number 3, what types of skills would you be interested in obtaining? So when you're thinking about your business or you're trying to brainstorm, What type of skills have you always said, I would love to be able to write code or design my own website one day? That I think that would be something truly amazing. You need to identify those. And number 4, can you realistically make money performing any of your talents? So, let's go back to the singing or writing songs. Do you think that you're in a place right now where you could actually make money doing this? I mean, it's a lot of options and opportunities available for talents that you possess, and sometimes you just have to sit down and get your thoughts together. And now on to our last survey, which is your ideal lifestyle. Answer the following questions. Do you want to run your business from home, an office, or visit others at their workplace or home? Basically, where do you want to perform your business duties? Some people may be stay-at-home moms or dads, and it may be ideal for them to look at businesses that offer them a chance to stay home with their kids. An office may be ideal for someone who's looking at setting up an accounting firm or maybe a call center and they want to hire on some people to help. Now you can also, that a restaurant, if you're looking at starting some type of food business, will fall under an office environment also, because you can't run a full scale restaurant from your home. And then if you're looking at visiting others at their workplace or home, that would be something along looking at being a mobile spa center or being a in-house nurse, just things along those lines. Number 2, are you trying to earn some extra money, or will this be your full-time job? So a lot of people, they enjoy working their 40, 50, 60 plus hour a week job, but they need some extra income, just to pay, to pay for some bills or activities that their kids want to perform, or do things that they're interested in. So you have to look at business ideals that will, if you're looking at doing something that just earn you some extra money, just look at business ideals that you could work easily before or after you go to work and get off work, or things that you could do on the weekend. Now, a lot of ideas along those lines would be something like an online business where you sell some type of product, um, or some type of service that you can just perform virtually for someone, i.e. a virtual assistant. Now, if you're looking for something full time, then the the scope, it broadens. You have more options available to you. Of course, if you're working a full-time job and you're not quite ready to jump into your business full time, I mean, you got to look at something that you could just transition into slowly and start earning some type of income while you're planning your exit from your job. Number 3, how much time do you want to spend with your family and friends? So, are you starting your business to spend more time with your loved ones? A lot of people do. They find that, hey, I'm working 50 plus hours a week and I barely see my spouse, or I don't get a chance to hang out with my friends because I'm working overtime too. So, if this is the reason why you're starting your business, look at ideals that will let you spend more time with your loved ones. And this again could be making some type of product or offering a service virtually. So those are just a couple of ideas to get you started. So once you've completed all 3 surveys, now it's time to review your results. Now, after reviewing your results, compiling them all, you should have some idea of what you really like to do, the talents and skills you have or need to have to start to at least get this business off the ground, or decide on the people you need to hire who have these skills, and your ideal working conditions and how you plan to balance your personal and professional life. So, now what? In developing ideal, first you have to decide on whether you want to offer a product or a service. So let's just say you want to sell cookies as a product or do hair as a service. Now each one has its own advantages and disadvantages such as overhead. So if you're selling cookies and you're selling them online, then you have to look at, you have to actually go in and make the cookies. You have to buy all the ingredients that go into the cookie. You have to buy the equipment used to make a cookie. You got to have a location if you're not working out of your home to do so. Shipping, things like that, packaging, those things will go into a product, the overhead for a product, just some of the things. Now, if you decide to do a service such as the doing hair, then you're pretty much looking at where your overhead may not be as much because you may just have to have a few products and hairstyling tools to get you started. But it's not like you got to set up a whole manufacturing ring in order to make it happen. Now, your need for employees also plays a factor. I mean, because that's going to play into your cost. If you're trying to produce 500 bags of cookies a day or 5,000 bags of cookies a day, then these may be things, you may be able to do the 500 yourself, but you'll probably need to hire some people to do the 5,000. So that'll be an additional cost. Whereas if you're just doing hair, you probably won't need to hire anybody if that's just what you're doing. Now, where you'd have to work, you could make your cookies from home, or you could find a factory to do that out of, and that's going to factor into your cost. Whereas with your service, you could either choose to just work at someone else's salon and pay the booth cost, or you could choose to be a mobile salon service where you just go to their home and you save on those overhead costs. And earning potential. Now, here's the thing with earning potential. If you're doing those cookies, then you can produce cookies all day long, all night long, and that can result in an unlimited earning potential. Whereas if you're doing hair, you can only do so many heads of hair at a time. You cannot be working on 6 or 7 different hairstyles at the same time if you're trying to provide an excellent service and a high quality work. So your earning potential could be limited with a service. So these are just some of the things you'll have to consider when you're looking at exactly what you want to offer to the public and what the public is in need of. Now, as you're developing your idea, you have to consider if there is an actual need for your ideal, for your product or service. So think about things that will make your life or that of your family and friends easier, more efficient, happier, or could save them money. So we'll go back to those ideals of the cookies, making the cookies, or either doing hair. So if you find that, hey, I have a restricted diet, it would be, but I love sweets, so it'd be awesome if I could have some type of cookie that is good to eat, but it's also good for me. So that could be something that'll make them happier. Or if you're looking at the hair ideal, where it's hard for me to be able to get into a salon with my busy work schedule. So it'd be nice if I could find somebody that worked late hours, or that could even come to my workplace or come to my home to do my hair. Or you can also look at different industries and you can identify the issues, concerns, or problems that they currently face, and you could come up with a solution to solve them. So if you see that there's an industry that they're trending, but then they're looking for a way to you know cut costs here or increase production there, then that may be something to look at, seeing if you can provide a solution to that problem. Now, some other ways of developing an ideal are reinvent the wheel, which is taking an ideal and making it better. People do it all the time. They just improve upon a product or a service. Stay on the lookout for up and coming trends where you can take advantage of an emerging market. Now, research ideals that are currently inquired about on search engines. So what you're doing is you're finding out what folks are online looking up the most. As far as what I mean is what they're Googling, what they're going and doing a Google search for, or Yahoo or Bing search for. What things are they most interested in learning about? And write down all of your ideals, regardless of how outlandish they may seem. Right now, you're brainstorming. So don't discard any ideas during your brainstorm session. Just let them flow and write them down. And remember to keep an open mind, because later you're going to start evaluating your ideals and seeing what works and what's not going to work for you. As you're getting ready to evaluate an ideal, one of the first things you want to do is look at the ideals that you came up with after your brainstorming session and compare them to the knowledge, skills, and abilities that you currently have. So what you're going to be doing is looking at, do I have the knowledge, skills, and abilities, or in the business world we say the KSAs, to perform this ideal? Now, if not, am I willing to learn the KSAs needed to perform this ideal? Am I willing to learn the necessary requirements to run this business? Now, if the answer is no, you may want to consider another ideal. And of course, that's if you don't want to learn, or if you don't want to hire the people that may already possess these KSAs. Your next step on evaluating ideal is, once you've decided on an ideal or a few ideals, your next step is going to be to start investigating your ideal and your competition. Now, the purpose of investigating your ideal is to make sure that someone doesn't have the exact ideal already. Now, it's nothing worse than investing time and money only to find out that it's already on the market. So going back to your cookies, were you looking for a sugar-free cookie designed for diabetics, or you're looking at a vegan cookie and someone has already put that particular type of cookie on the market and is doing well? Now, we'll move on to your competition, whereas the purpose of investigating your competition is to decide, is to decide that even if the ideal is in fact on the market or something is similar to it, are you able to improve it? Can you offer it for less? Can you add something unique to it? And also, when you're doing the investigation of your competitors, you want to find out how they're doing according to their customers. So again, back to that same cookie, if you decide on a sugar-free or a vegan cookie, is there something else that you can add to it? Can you offer, automatic shipment for these items, or can you offer it 20% or 30% lower than what your competitors are charging? So even if the ideal is on the market, I mean, that's going to be up to you to decide, hey, well, I just want to, add this service or add this, make this an additional benefit of this product, or if I just want to go ahead and move on to something else. I want to pursue another ideal because the market is too saturated for me to break into it and make a decent profit from it. And as you are evaluating your ideal, make sure you start getting others involved by talking to your family and friends. Of course, your family and friends could be your best or worst critics because they're going to be, you hope that they'll be honest with you. But, sometimes you have your family where they're like, hey, this is a great idea, but I think you should do, maybe try this or take this ingredient out and it'll work a little better. And then there may be cases where it's like, oh, I just hate your idea. I absolutely hate your idea. So when you're talking to your family and friends, what you're trying to find out is it something that they would actually buy or use or utilize that service? And you can also talk to potential customers where you can do a pilot where it's like, okay, well, hey, we're gonna be, just putting a small amount of this out on the market just to see what people think about it. Like with the cookies again, you could just do a small taste test just to get an idea of how people feel about it. If they like the product, they may say yes, but then the price is too high, or they don't like the packaging. So this is pretty much where you're just testing the market, just testing a small segment of the market before you begin to invest a great deal of time and money into an ideal that may not work, or it may just need some adjusting. Unfortunately, when you're evaluating ideal, you do have to look at the not so fun side of the equation, and that includes identifying risks, challenges, and obstacles associated with your ideal. So let's go to the hairstyling ideal. I mean, you're looking at liability risks that can go along. Um, Trying to gain customers that may be interested in the type of service that you offer. A lot of people just prefer to go into the salon and get their hair done, whereas having someone come to their home. They may like the interaction of a salon. Or you may have where you have to get certain licenses and certifications, things like that are associated with your ideal. Can you realistically, can you determine if your eye is it feasible? Is it something that can you make money off of it? Is the main thing. Can you realistically make money off of your ideal? And you have to objectively rank your idea by comparing the pros and cons. So if you came up with 3 or 4 ideals that you're trying to decide on which would be the best for you, do rank them, and you have to do it objectively because you may be leaning towards a couple of them, but they may have some high costs that come with starting off. Like you may have to have a lot of inventory on hand before you can even get off the ground, or you may have to have customers already lined up for this service to get it off the ground. So you have to look at all of these factors when you're evaluating an idea. And make sure you do complete all of these steps for each ideal that you come up with, so that you have enough information to make an educated decision. Now that you have developed some ideals and you have evaluated each one, it's time to decide on the best one suited for you. So, this is where we get into bringing your ideal to life, and it's going to get interesting because now you have to start working out the details to get it off the ground. And one of your first steps should be to determine what type of business structure you want to establish. Of course, each one does have its advantages and disadvantages. And we are going to be hosting an online course that's going to cover the ins and outs of business structures. So once you get a chance, you can go to our website at www.hysnex.com and you can get more details on when we're going to be rolling out this online course. But here are your 5 options. You can go with a sole proprietorship, a partnership, a limited liability corporation, a corporation, or an S corporation. So your levels of protection of your assets, how you file your taxes, the legal ramifications. I mean, those things are going to vary for each one. So again, it may be a good idea to take that online course, once to help you understand the differences and similarities of each one, and to make sure you decide on the best one for you. Your next step should be to create a business plan. And the purpose of a business plan is not only to obtain funds for your business, but it does allow for you to organize your ideals. You can provide others with an understanding of your business. You use it as a guide for operating efficiently. You can predict your level of profitability, and it can help you expand your business over time. So a business plan has a lot of uses. And it also offers a way for you to sort out all the details of your business, such as location. Where do you want to set up shop, whether out of your home, you want to set up an office, a restaurant, things of the sort. We're hiring employees, whether you need to hire them right now or if you're going to need to hire them in the next 1 to 5 years, your overhead costs and things along those lines, marketing plans, uh, what type of team do you need to go ahead and have in place as far as your lawyers and accountants, licenses, things like that. Now, business plans, they do vary in length, the details sections, and uses, so yours should reflect the uniqueness of your business, and it must be written only by you. Now, that's not to say that someone else cannot put the pieces together in a presentable and professional manner, but the ideals, they have to be put in by you, because you know exactly what your business entails. and that's the way it's supposed to work. So you want to sit down and take a personal approach to designing your business plans. And the wonderful thing about it is that it is a working document. So again, going back to growth, I mean, you are able to change your business plan over time as your business changes. That's what it's for. Now, we're also going to be offering in the coming summer an online course about creating business plans. So make sure you check back to our website, the www.hysnex.com, to get details on when this particular online course is going to be rolling out. So you've decided on your business structure, you're in the process of working on your business plan. Another major step as you're bringing your ideal to life that's going to help get your business one step closer to that grand opening is finding the money to fund your business. And here are some options. You can go to a bank or a credit union and ask for a business or commercial loan. You could look at private or angel investors, venture capitalists, people that's what they do. They invest in startups and businesses that are looking to grow. Fundraising is an ideal. You depending on the type of business you decide to start, you can look at going on Kickstarter, GoFundMe. Those are just a couple of the websites. There are some other sites out there where you can ask the public to help fund your business. You can also ask your family and friends to provide you with the startup capital, or you can do self-funding, where you're pretty much just using your own money or your own credit cards to get your business off the ground. Now, realistically, self-funding will probably be your best option because nowadays with startups, banks and credit unions, they generally are not going to lend to people that are just starting their business up, they're just getting it off the ground. They normally like to lend to people that have a proven track record. Not saying that it's impossible, but it's highly unlikely. But I mean, it still could be something that you want to look into. Now, the investors and angel funding, they can be hard to find, and if you're looking at, okay, well, this is my baby. When I start this business, I want to make all of the decisions as far as how we market, what direction we're going in, you know, how it's going to add value to the community. And sometimes you're in private or in your angel investors, they're like, okay, well, I'm willing to put up a certain percentage of of your startup capital or all of your startup capital, but you got to offer me, I want 20% of your company. And even if you're okay with that, they may say, I want to also be able to add my input on your product or service, and you may not be so okay with that. So you have to look at that factor when you're looking into having an investor come in to assist you with the funding. Fundraising, again, that's depending on the type of company you have. Kickstarter, They stick with they do a lot of creative companies, or companies that directly you know impact the community, or as far as local and globally. So if you're trying to start your hair business, um, Kickstarter may not be the ideal platform to raise money on, but again, there are other ways to fundraise. I mean, you can get out there and host a car wash or things like that. I mean, so just throwing a couple of options out there. And family and friends, that can become a sticky situation because hey, you go borrow 5,000 or 25,000 from your family or friends, and you say, hey, well, I'll give you guys your money back in 6 months to a year, and it may be that you don't start making a profit or have that money to give back for another 2 years. So it could become pretty awkward when or worse, you could, lose that money. It can happen, and you have to, tell your family or friends that hey, things didn't work out. I found some way to get your money back to you if possible, and that can make for an awkward situation. Now with self-funding, that's all on you because you can tap into your 401k if you have one. I wouldn't recommend that if you're still in your younger years. It's an ideal if you need to, but you could use your credit cards. Some if you have savings, um, take out a personal line of credit. These are just some ideals, to help you self-fund your project. So we've talked about just a few ways to, help you find an idea as far as developing, evaluating, and bring your ideal to life. And these are just some of the steps to help you get started. And in conclusion, when you're embarking on a new adventure, such as starting a business, you have to make sure you do your own due diligence, and you have to understand that there will be up days and down days. But make sure you follow your passion, you set realistic yet challenging goals, and don't forget to relax along the way and be grateful for the opportunities that come your way. So, good luck on your business ideal, and remember to visit us at www.hysnex.com, and that's hysnex.com, to let us know how you're doing and how we can help you achieve your business aspirations. Because again, we are here to offer you training solutions for starting, running, and growing your business in addition to your professional growth. So thank you all for sitting in on our webinar today, and check back on our website to see when the next webinar will be available. Thank you and have a wonderful day.